Hey guys, welcome back to Festival Insider. I'm your host, Kennedy Simmerman, and joining us today, we have a very special guest, ranked the 14th best producer by 1001 Tracklist in 2020. This world renowned DJ has proven himself to be an idolized figure in the dance music scene. His sound has traversed every genre in the game, and he flaunts an impressive catalog of A-list collaborators such as Bad Bunny and Cardi B. You may even recognize him as the other half of DJ duo Side Piece. So it is my pleasure to introduce Grammy Award winning and 12-time platinum producer, Nitti Gritti. Yay.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
might be the best interview intro I've
right.
ever heard for
Thank you.
myself. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Of course. So, first off, congratulations on your Monster Cat debut with your recent release, Drive You Crazy, featuring the one and only Dylan Matthew on vocals. But before we dive into the track, I kind of want to talk a little bit about your journey as a solo artist. So, let's start from the beginning. What sparked your interest in DJing and producing?
I think the first thing I was very into bands, and obviously when I first started getting into music, I still didn't really discover electronic music and stuff like that. So I remember I loved listening to a lot of bands from I got Guitar Hero when I was a kid,
Oh, yeah.
and then downloading stuff on LimeWire, and I discovered Slipknot,
So many
and
viruses on my lap or on my computer
yeah,
from that
yeah,
shit.
insane. Like I come from the era I was on YouTube and I would have to sit there and load one video for an hour just to
Yep,
watch a
yep.
music
Or
video
like the YouTube to MP3 conversion thing. That's what I always
all
did too.
day. Yeah. Oh, I still do
Oh
that
yeah.
to this day, honestly. Not really, but yeah. So I guess all that type of stuff influenced me to start playing guitar. I learned drums, guitar, a little bit of keyboard, and kind of singing. And I wasn't great at it, but it was fun to just mess around on GarageBand, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
for
Then
sure.
when I finally heard I think the first blog I kind of started just discovering stuff was like this song is sick, and like that was like when Dead Mouse and I guess like all the earlier Skrillex where he was still kind of making house on Mousetrap, and then
Hmm.
from there just kind of deep dive into the Diplos of the world, and then the Troy Boys, and then slowly 2015 20, and just so that's always been my run to get inspired by it. And I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
2012 must have been the real first year. I had messed around in 2010, 2011, but I think when I moved for college to Florida, I really downloaded Ableton and just got obsessed with it. So that took me, I'd say, 3 or 4 years to get solid at producing. But that's pretty much the
Yeah,
overall
so that,
gist of how
that
I
actually
got
brings
to it.
up my next question because you were raised in Pennsylvania, then you moved to Haiti with your family where you lived for like 8 years, and then you moved to
Yeah.
Miami where you're now based. So I want to ask, like, how did the change of environments influence your development as an artist?
So I think, ironically enough, it really helped with touring, but artistically also, it was interesting. My parents didn't have, well, they're Christian, so a lot of Christian music and stuff of that nature. And growing up in the church, you have to learn how to play guitar if you want to lead worship. And I played drums in the band, so that actually was really
Oh
helpful. But
yeah, definitely.
I didn't know any pop music. Like I didn't know because I was gone from the United States for 8 years of my childhood, so I
Yeah.
didn't know Britney Spears, I didn't know Backstreet Boys, I
Wow.
didn't know what was
Yeah.
cool. So I had to kind of discover for myself, and I kind of just skipped all that stuff and went straight to like metal and I don't know, Coldplay, Death Cab for Cutie, all the
Pop
bands type of
punk and all that
stuff.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I loved Fall Out Boy, all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
So it was an interesting version of me capturing music from that because I was overseas. I just had to do it myself. And then being in Haiti, there's really cool Caribbean music. It's called one of the main genres called compa, and there's stuff like zouk, which is like carnival music for carnaval. Um, and yeah, all that stuff kind of led me into dance music because it's very dancey in itself. So
Yeah.
I remember there was like parties in Haiti where all the kids from my school would all play house music, but like very French influenced. So it's called
That's cool.
what was it called? Like tectonic. It was like called tectonic at one point, like a French dance
Yeah.
electro, like DJ class, like all this old cool electro music.
That's awesome. I love
That
that
was actually,
background that you have there. That's awesome.
yeah. Now that I think about it, that was some of the first music. That's why I found like Dead Mouse and all that stuff, because like the electro era of 2009 or 2008 and up, I guess, would
Yeah.
probably be where I can think of it. Yeah, that's really where it first started to connect to electronic music from Haiti
Yeah.
and
That's really cool.
Miami's just similar to Haiti too, because it's like
Yeah, it's
all
kind of down
Haitians,
there.
Cubans,
Sure.
Dominicans, very, very familiar to me. So it made sense.
Yeah. So speaking of Miami, I mean, I don't know if that's where you played your first gig, but what do you remember about the first gig you ever played?
Oh yeah, I remember like it was yesterday. It was to the bartenders and the security guards because nobody came in yet. I was the first one, and it was
Sure.
at Wynwood Fear Factory
Oh wow, I know
in
Winwood though.
Miami. Yep. So it was at I forget I think they renamed the venue, but I don't know. I can picture in my head where it was around like
Mhm.
Mana, Wynwood, and yeah, it was. I gave my all, and then at the
Yeah.
last 10 minutes, they were letting people in. No, they. I didn't think they let anybody in on my set.
Oh
Like it
my
was
God.
crazy. I literally just opened the festival. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because, like, I mean, there's sometimes I've been to like shows where like a DJ that I really want to see, he's like the opener, but they open the doors at 10 and he goes on at 10. I'm like, what's the point of that? Like, I'm going to miss like half
Yeah,
a set, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, I get that.
exactly.
So, I want to talk about your name. So, what does your name Nitty Gritty mean to you?
I mean, essentially, the phrase is getting down to the real shit. So for me, it made sense that it was music, and it resonated because it kind of sounds like when I started, I was making kind of fun, club heavy, hard, kind of grimy-ish, gritty-ish
Yeah.
music. So it matched that, and also I love the basing it around getting down to that, the music,
Yeah,
not
that
just the
makes sense.
brand.
And it's really, it's a good like tongue, not tongue twister, but it just really it rolls off the tongue
Yeah,
nicely.
yeah,
Nitty
for
gritty,
sure,
right? It's a good name that
100%.
stuck.
I like the sound of it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's switch gears and talk about a little bit about your diverse musical style. So you're really known for pushing musical boundaries with your sound, and I think it'd be impossible to classify you under a singular genre. So who or what influences your sound?
So I think I love to make music from inspiration, and it sounds like corny or a general statement, but I very literally do it where I will watch a YouTube video of a Drake song, and then I'll watch something like I don't know, some like something random like a rock song or something, and hear the
Mhm.
guitar from this, but then be like, okay, the pop hook that he did, okay, I like that. This maybe I can put this together
Yeah.
in my own version, and so it's very direct, literal translations, and then mixing them together. So the best example of this is my song Guest List, where I love UK bassline. It's a really cool kind of speed house genre. And I don't know if that's wrong to say, and the Brits are going to be like, "Oh, that's garage." I don't really know. I love it all, so it's hard for me to differentiate. But I
Yeah.
remember listening to that and listening to drill, and when like the Pop Smoke kind of hip hop era, which is still kind of going on, but all that type of stuff. And I made Guest List to be drill in the verses, hooked up with this rapper from LA, Chase, and he gave me a verse, and me and my boy Shindo made a drill beat, and then I went in and made this drop that was like UK baseline mixed with drill. So it kind of made sense to me because drill comes from the UK, and it just
Mhm.
all the pieces just like made sense to me. Like, okay, so drill came from the UK, and they love baseline and their electronic music and their hip hop. Maybe I could put them together, and I don't know. That's just a general.
No, I mean that makes sense because I mean
It's a
you
way to
must
see it.
have, yeah, you must have like a wide range of inspiration because like your
Yeah.
music is so diverse and that like that's a really great thing to have, be inspired by so much around you. So love that. All right, so this might be a hard question, so you don't have to answer it if you can't. But if you had to choose, what is one of your favorite genres to produce and why?
Hmm. Can I give like two? I think that might
Sure.
be
Yep.
easier for me.
I'll let that
So
slide.
yeah, yeah. The first one would be pretty obviously house music because even early Nitty, I think the second song I ever released was actually like a breakbeat house song. People probably think I only released trap and this, but I actually released like two or three house songs early on in my career, so it wasn't all trap or all dubstep.
Mhm.
And obviously the first thing I ever discovered was electro and Dead Mouse and DJ
Sure.
Class and that stuff. So it's very dear to my heart because it traveled from my first
Your youth,
inception
your
all
past.
the way till yeah, all the way till Nitty, and then now till side piece. So it's like it's it's not something that
Stuck
I
with
feel like
you. Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't feel fake by loving it. It's not. We didn't just make tech house to make tech house. We didn't start side piece because of that. We literally had songs and they were good and it all worked out. And
Mhm.
I'd say the other one for me that I try to blend in sometimes is like mixing electronic music and rock and pop. Like pop rock and electronic all together is really
Just blend it
something I
all,
like.
right?
Yeah, it's
Love
like
it.
sometimes it could be a little more poppy version of that and dancey, or sometimes a little more emo version. Like Drive You Crazy, to reel it in, I guess, to me is one of my favorite releases, because I got to make this like Taking Back Sunday guitar line,
Yeah.
but then Dylan made it more pop and more accessible. And then I got to do my electronic future-ish drop.
Right.
So
And
it's really, I love that mixture of pop and rock. And that's what I
mhm.
love. The Fall Out Boy,
And
all that
yeah, I
stuff.
feel like
So
that's the beauty of electronic music though, because like you can blend so many different genres all in one song. Like I feel like,
yeah,
not hating on any other genre because I love all music, but like pop kind of sticks in pop and like genres kind of stay in their lane. But I feel like with electronic music, I feel like so many different genres can be combined into one. So
yeah,
the beauty of
100%.
it. Yeah, cool. So I know you mentioned side piece, and I do want to focus more on your solo career, but I had a question for you about this. So
For
on
sure.
the side, obviously you're involved with another project alongside Party Favor. So have you faced any challenges trying to balance your solo career with your other side duo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not all always easy to, and that's not even, not underneath the surface. There's multiple things besides just side piece and Nitty. I produce with Diplo a lot. I produce with my friend Shindle a lot. We send records and demos to people. There's a lot of people like me that are able to do a lot. And really the thing is balance. That's the hardest part, is
Mhm.
getting enough time for Nitty and getting enough time for
Yeah.
side piece. And it's because like it's hard for me because I can do a lot doesn't mean I always should be doing a lot. I have to sometimes focus. Okay, let's do a side piece week. All right, let's do a
Yeah.
Nitty
Okay.
Gritty
So you
week.
have to
So
prioritize somewhat.
yeah, prioritizing and not getting creatively stuck, because for someone like me, I'll just go off and on a
Yeah.
tangent and be like, oh, I'll just make some rock today. It's like, probably don't have time to do that. I'll do it later. It's
Yeah.
like,
I wonder, I mean,
it's
that
a
might also,
discipline.
yeah, I feel like that also kind of benefits you because if you run into like a creative writer's block writing a song for Nitty, maybe you can like switch gears and write, for
Oh
the other.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that, yeah, that works
I
out.
honestly am lucky and blessed to say this. I don't want to sound like I'm showing off like, oh, I'm better than anybody, but I really never get writer's block, not because I'm better than anyone, but because I just never, if I'm not doing good in this, I just go to something else. So I do
Mhm.
get it, but then when I switch over, it's like I never had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
makes it easy for me not to have to like, if I'm not doing good on house day, all right, I'll
And
give
house
up and
day.
I'll
Oh,
do,
yeah,
do something
sure
else. And,
thing,
and that
sure thing.
happens all the time.
Yeah. So one more thing before we touch upon your newest collab. So you have like a very extensive list of collaborations with many of them being from the A list, if you will. So who are some of your favorite artists that you've collaborated with?
Um, I think one of my favorite uh collaborations to date. I'm still very proud of the Bad Bunny one. That's always been
Yeah,
felt like cool to me because the size and scale, and like I was a part of like his first big album, and um you know mainly also because of Diplo. So that's another person that I feel kind of
uh-huh.
helps mentor me, and I definitely look up to him in that sense where I feel like as a friend and a co-producer with him, I can really
Aw.
learn just what he does. He's not
Yeah, right.
really like lovey-dovey at all like that, but it's just true. He really, in his own way, he looks out for me. So
Yeah.
it's nice to watch somebody that is in everything, which is what I want to do. And I'd say another just like cool one, which not many people will remember, but I worked with the Marley family, uh, Skip Marley, Bob's grandson, Sadella, his daughter,
Wow.
Steven, his son, and they're just genuinely
That's
nice people.
incredible. Wow.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
really fun time for me to like at their house, like
Oh my
name to name
God.
basis, like texting them. Like they're really nice people. It's
That's
been a while, but
awesome.
it was a really cool time.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. But how about looking to the future? Who are some artists that you would dream of collaborating with?
Yeah, so I mean, especially for my Nitty project, there's just like a long cool list for me that some of the newer people I've actually been in the studio and worked with them already, but I haven't had full on collaborations. Is someone like Oliver Tree. I got to work with him,
Nice.
um, and then Baby No Money. I got to help. I made a pogo with Diplo and him. I produced their song. We were all in the studio. It was a fun time, and hopefully it's a collab later in my career or sooner than later
Yeah,
that I can
definitely.
capitalize on, just because I really liked all that type of music. And then within electronic music, me and DJ Snake just posted something today. Because sometimes it's shot in the dark, I'll be honest. And, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I get it too. I'm so busy. Sometimes I send him something and we both forget. And he posted it today. He's like, oh, DJ Snake and Nitti Gritti ID. I'm like, okay, so this is our song. Cool. We're ready to go. And it's sometimes a cool surprise. So today he's like, yo, send me the stems.
Yeah.
So like all those times are like where I'm excited to work with someone. I'm just patient and, I have them in my head and, I would love to collaborate. I'd say as like my high reaching goal with like Coldplay, Chris Martin. I find him to be one of the best songwriters of all time.
Yeah. Right.
So that's kind of like my reach. I know that's like a huge, artist to get to, but hey, the Chainsmokers did it, so I feel like I
right.
get
You're next in line. Line. So speaking of collaborations, I think that's a perfect segue to your newest release with singer-songwriter Dylan Matthew called Drive You Crazy. So let's start with how this project came to life. So how and when did you connect with Dylan?
Yeah, so it's funny. I literally this morning I recorded and made the video of the making of this, and so it's fresh in my mind because I had to go back and look at our DMs. Right. But in 2020, on 4/20, 2020, I DM'd him. I was like, "Yo, dude, like I would love to work." So and someone posted on the video like, "Haha, you texted him on 4/20,
4/20, right?
Something like that."
Best day of the year, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even smoke. That's what's so funny. That's why I had no idea. I'm oblivious. I don't really smoke like that. So yeah, I sent him this demo of the guitar, and actually most of the production I think was already done at that point. And I sent him the track and he was like, yo, this is super dope. And just sent me something back like a week later and I loved it. And then, that was during quarantine. It was hard to release music. Yeah. So obviously it took till now, but I'm very glad we waited because we got the music video, we got the vocals. He kind of cleaned them up and I was able to mix it. And I think it sounds a lot better overall.
And yeah, you can't rush perfection. I mean, 2 years in the making, like, I obviously Dylan Matthew is like one of the best vocalists of our generation with the EDM and just in general. But what about him specifically appealed to you as a potential collaborator for the song?
I mean, I just, like I said, because I love mixing popular music with underground or rock or whatever, I just, like you said, he has some of the biggest, catchiest hooks. And not even to take away from his voice because, some people have catchy hooks and their voice isn't great, but he luckily has both. So I just had a gut feeling from him writing well that I was like, I feel like he can just kill this.
Right.
Like, it's perfectly right up. Like I was right. It was just right up his alley and he knocked it out really quick. So I'm glad that I sent it over because stab in the dark, you never know. I never met him.
Gotta shoot your shot. You gotta shoot your shot. Slide in his DMs. Like
legitimately, this is a true story of shooting your shot.
Yeah, right.
Because I message like 5 singers, 10 singers a week, and 1 or 2 answer, and then a year later they answer like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see it."
Oh my God.
I'm like, "Yo, it's fine. I'm patient. It's all good."
Yeah, right. So I want to talk about, this track centers around love and nostalgia. So what inspired these themes behind this track?
Well, what's perfect is I didn't even write any lyrics really or melody, but the guitar I wrote is very based on Brand New, Taking Back Sunday, which is always about teen angsty romance. And to me, I was like, oh, this is perfect. It sets a mood. It takes the bittersweet guitar and makes it a little more happy. And yeah, it was perfect in my head. When I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, this makes me feel great. It makes me, the music video, they killed it. We were able to all talk about the writing.
Yeah, I love your little what's it called? You're like 2 seconds. Like, yeah, exactly. So funny.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. It felt like when I made the track and then I think when he wrote the lyrics, we were both feeling the exact same thing where it had to be feel good. It had to be the lyrics that are like, it's more of a happy song. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's fun to make the emo stuff sad and thing, but it's like, it made sense to be a more uplifting version of, that
feel
stuff.
good, summer feel good track.
Yeah. Like a good relationship in the summer, you know what I mean? Like a fling that you remember as like, oh, that was a good fling. Not like that ended badly.
Most of the songs out there, heartbreak and but great
definitely it's there. Nice to have every now and then a happy song, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Sprinkle it in there. So when you worked with Dylan on this track, Do you know, or can you name anything that you guys learned from each other? Like, did he teach you something? Did you teach him something? What did you take away from working with him?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing unfortunately we never even really got in the studio together. That's how incredible music technology
Yeah,
is.
definitely.
So that's always fun for me to be in the studio with each other. But we were able to just easily. It was not hard at all to finish the song. The last thing we did was mix the vocal, and we
Mm,
tried to get it mixed somewhere else. And then I was like, "Yo, like just FaceTime me," and we just did it right there, and it was really nice and
nice.
easy. And so, it was nice to be able to do that together and
Yeah, for sure.
kind of make the vocal sound really good and stand out on top of the track and stuff. So that was a fun
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you said you didn't write the lyrics, obviously, it's Dylan's lyrics, but do you have a favorite lyric from the song?
I just because I'm so melody based, the second verse, uh, where he just hits this like different melody on the second. I'm trying to find exactly where it
Yeah, you're
is,
good.
just so you can have a time. You could take the shit out. I'll re-say it, but I'm trying to find
Yeah,
the
no
timestamp.
problem. Gives me
Um,
time to cough and drink my water. My God.
yeah, this part of the verse is so sick. So at like 140, I don't know. Just I guess the lyrics also make the melody perfect, but when I think about you, say the melody on that second verse is
Yeah.
just my favorite part of the song.
And he hits
Um,
it. He hits it.
yeah. It's that part when I heard that, I was like, ooh, this really puts me in like the Ocean Drive, PCH. Like,
Yeah.
I guess I can visualize the lyrics. That's why I love them because I drive. I have a place in LA, even though I live in Florida. So,
Mhm.
for all the California kids, we can all imagine PCH, and we can really see. Uh, for me too, as a person I collaborated with, I'm also singing the lyrics back myself because I love my own song. Like I love the song we
Yeah.
made. So
No, and I
it's
really
fun
feel
to
like the music video too just like completely tells the story of the lyrics. Like some music videos,
exactly.
like the music video is like, what is this? Doesn't make any sense to the lyrics,
Yeah.
but like this is an exact storytelling video.
Yeah. Sometimes it's cool to have like random funny shit. And you're like,
Oh
whoa,
yeah,
this is
no doubt,
crazy.
no
But
doubt.
but yeah, I think this one made it. I was happy with going more literal and more towards the
Definitely.
feeling good part. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the collab. It turned out so
Thank you.
great. And now for the best part, my favorite part of the interview is the speed round. So we got 10 rapid fire questions coming at you hot. So ready? Number one, guilty pleasure TV show.
The
All right.
Office.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Favorite festival you've performed at?
Oh, that is so hard.
I
Oh
know.
my
I maybe
gosh.
I'll put the one
Uh,
of your
uh,
favorite
uh.
festivals.
Okay. I gotta say one really fast. I don't know why it's taking me so long. EDC Mexico. I love EDC
Oh
Mexico.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year's Halloween costume.
What? You know what? Last year didn't count, but because I actually did. Oh. Um. Why am I not remembering? Austin Powers.
um
I had to sing the song.
That is iconic. Wow. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I'm gonna
There's a
write that
clip
down. I'm
somewhere.
just kidding.
Yeah.
If you could travel back in time, what decade would you go to?
I think I'd rather relive the early 2000s and pay attention more, or the 90s.
90s. Yeah.
It's hard. I love both of them. I think early 2000s, ironically, I know it sounds like lame because it's not that far ago. Like far ago, that's not that long
Yeah.
ago, but that era of music is just so epic to me. I wish I could have gone to all the concerts
Right.
when those kids were all 18-year-olds, and
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know.
I would love to relive that.
I was definitely like 3, 4 years old.
Yeah.
Favorite memory on tour?
I think one of my favorite memories on tour is when I found out I won the Grammy for Bad Bunny album. I was like on an airplane to Singapore or China or something, and
Wow.
we were taking off, and I was like, guys, just won a Grammy, and then we took off. It was crazy.
Out of plane, you found out. Wow.
Yeah.
That's oh my god, it's amazing. All right. Would you rather wake up to an air horn blowing in your ear every day or wake up and have to run 4 miles every day?
Oh, I do the 4 miles for health, and I can't mess my ears up.
Yeah, right. These are too precious.
Yeah.
Describe your perfect show.
My honest, perfect show is like maybe a 500 cap room. So it's like just big enough to feel epic, but just small enough to feel
Intimate.
intimate.
Yeah.
And, I don't really care what the venue is like, looks like, as long as it sounds good and there's, people behind me, people dancing, enjoying, people in
Sure.
front. I like to be surrounded and in that, like, and everyone's there having a good time. There's no cool, it's not tables. If the table's
Yeah.
lit, I don't care. But
Yeah,
as long
right.
as it's like it
No
feels like
one's
a
sitting
circle.
down. No one's sitting down.
Yeah. And everyone's vibing out, singing songs and
Yeah,
able to go with every genre that I go to. Those are the
sure.
best.
Nice. What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Um, I mean, I can eat rice and beans and chicken and
Yeah,
that type of stuff every day.
sure. That's like, I mean, that's popular down in Miami, so you're in
Yeah,
the right
exactly.
place.
Any Haitian, Cubans, they all
Yeah.
know.
All right, we got two more questions. Favorite karaoke song?
Uh, I will always love you.
Finish this sentence. Before I die, I want to.
Win producer of the year at the Grammys.
That's a wow, great answer there.
I
All
know
right,
that
well,
one.
yeah. Well, that finishes up my interview today with you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak with me. Do you have any last minute words or anything?
Yeah, no, thanks so much. I'm happy to be here. I'm really excited for Drive You Crazy. That song's out, the music video's out, and just really proud of it. So go check it out, guys, and I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks again. It was so great meeting
Yep,
you. All
you
righty.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey Insiders, thanks for watching this video. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to our channel or feel free to check out our recommended videos. Thanks for watching.